What's good, guys? This is your boy CS back with another one. In this video, I'm going to get straight into it because I spent 20 odd minutes literally showing you everything from the tether dominance, Bitcoin, and all the flashing signals. Ultimately, what's happened was I got into Bitcoin twice at specific levels due to the tether dominance. And I got in, and there's all the receipts were actually on here. Let me just find you one. So if you look at this wedge pattern there, I literally said, I'm getting in here. We're in this little wedge. And then it played out, as you can see there. And then I put all my stops to entry so that I would never lose anything. Because if we went down further from 97 odd K, I'm only getting stopped out at 96K, which is my base entry. And I basically went on and said, look, I've done it again here, getting on at this 4.3% level on the tether dominance, yada, 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 yada. Anyway, where we're at now. So tether dominance, we have breached that 4.3% level, but it's not necessarily a full breach because we went and tagged that yellow line of support. And if I go back historically, as you all know who watch my YouTube, this has been a support line or inversely resistance as of 2017, right? And so we've broken it and we've come back to retest it. Look how many weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then currently 7 at the moment. We're currently testing it a 7th week in a row. This is massive, massive support. And also, B and I have this kind of like wedge pattern, or I have a wedge pattern. I don't know if he's using the same pattern, but we've got the same trend line, which is this turquoise trend line, which is tagged as well at 4.4%. Now, where am I right now? I've literally just said in the group that I'm buying again and I've not lost anything. This is what I mean by buying at specific entries, right? I've literally got stopped out, so I've not lost any money. And this is the key thing. I'm buying where there's super key areas of red and resistance, support, and demand. And the reason I've bought here is because a signal has flashed for me here where I basically said, look, there's a deviation here, there's another deviation here. But what I want to happen is to go in, come back out, and then in again, and then flick up, right? And if I've got my receipts, which is here, yeah, okay, guys, let's just go here. That's what I'm looking for. Can you see that little flick here, right? And that's literally what's happened. It's flicked here. It's gone in and then come back out. And that was the flick that I was looking at. That shows a more constant divergence. And so I've said, look, I'm getting Popcat and Peanut here. Pretty tight stops, all of them. Gospel rule, return, risk to reward ratio is in my favor. 1823, right? Look, it could go against me, but this is live in real time. Like, there's nobody that will do this in real time. Nobody that gives you like actually good signals and tells you how it is. And especially my VIP chat where I'm just setting up trade by trade. So, 1823, where are we? We're here. We're on this candlestick where I bought again at the yellow line, 92.3. And we've gone up 1,000 basis points or points, right? And so I'm not going to put my stop to entry here right now, but the things that I have got into, like the alts that I just said, like Popcat and stuff like that, as you can see, they're starting to make a little swing up. Excuse me. Same with Peanut, a little swing up. And so there's only a few more alts that I need to get back into, and then I'm basically done. I don't want to get into anything else. I'm absolutely exhausted with what's going on because, again, as I just mentioned, there were 2 times I said that I entered, and the 2 times I put my stop to entry. All receipts are in the VIP chat, and all receipts are actually in the signals group as well. And so this is where I'm at right now, which is I've got in here because of that flash signal, and I've literally put it in the group. And look, whatever I'm saying is what I'm doing. And that's hard to come by because a lot of people, and look, you can search those calls, those really big calls and influencers, they're exiting their positions. And that's no shade to them. But that just tells you that their analysis kind of moves in waves because they're always on Twitter and they're so intertwined with what's going on with what other people are saying. They're not following what's going on as in the data. And that's what I like to do. I like to follow the data. And so whenever I think there's a position to enter, I'll enter cautiously. And here I've entered very cautiously. And as we can see, we're getting a pop from here, 92.3 to 93 point, basically 3. And what I'm really looking at in real time, this is, and I'll put it in the signals group, is I'm waiting for us to test this 20 EMA ribbon. I want to see what the reaction is here. Is it a dead cat bounce? Are we just going to get a slap down? Is it a temporary slap? Or is this going to be the demand of all demands where if I go on this chart, we just constantly keep bouncing here at 92.5K. As you can see, 92.5K. If I go on the daily, it looks even more cleaner, right? See that? Always on this white line. We just keep bouncing off it and we can't break it. And just to show you something where, okay, not necessarily the same thing, but if you were here last cycle, you would remember this magic line at 30K where the bears just could never breach it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then a couple of months down the line, we got a slap of all slaps. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We could never break around 30K, basically, is what I was trying to say, right? However many candles you wanted to count there, obviously I just said like 20 odd candles, but we just couldn't break it. And it wasn't until the bear market that they finally did break 30K, right? That's when they finally broke that region. And I'm not saying this region is that region right now, but with what it's showing and the amount of demand that people keep buying here, there is some type of correlation here. There has to be some type of correlation. And it's doing really, really well, this specific line here, 92.6K. And so basing it off that, this is a very, very strong demand zone. And I'm not saying gospel that this is going to stick and we're going to go higher here, but as a risk to reward ratio range, this just made sense to me because of the flashing signal I've got here. Because there's so many divergences, like this big one that we had yesterday, Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Then we had the divergences there, then a third, then a fourth, then a fifth, and then now a sixth one is forming here. So unless this came and eclipsed it, this is actually in the bull's favor. And I feel like, personally, best time to long, in my opinion, and why I'm taking out another long. This is my third long, as in leverage longs, in the past, couple of days, where the previous two got stopped out with. At the end of the day, not lost anything. Base entry. Now, bit more riskier, but I've got a signal that's telling me, look, we're flashing, so go for it. It's worth the risk here. And looking at things like PopCap, for instance, where obviously I'd want to buy right here, right? And I'd want to buy where there's a wick down. And I've even got like an alert at 4.8 where it could have wicked down here. But just looking at the state of PopCat, and there's a divergence on the 4 hour, never mind the 1 hour. The 1 hour's just got so many, but the 4 hour is absolutely roasted. That even when I look at the RSI, man, the RSI is at like 10. So like I'm looking for like coins that have just been absolutely demolished. Peanut has like come back, Nero's come back a bit, Moomoo's been absolutely demolished, Ponky's been demolished. Jinan, no, it's not even been that. I'm looking for all these RSIs that have been absolute. Mother, you know what? I need to look at Mother. Mother looks like a good shot because that has been demolished. And obviously there needs to be some type of accumulation or some type of like comes up and then bounces and then comes up again. Like a double bottom is what I usually look for. I won't obviously buy the first one unless I feel like there's a massive capitulation event. In which I always put my stop loss entry, because at the end of the day, if that wick is going to get filled later on, like here, say there was a wick and then it came and got filled later on, I'm always I'm always going to lose nothing. I'm always just going to get out at base entry. And sometimes that's good where you're trying to catch a falling knife. But always look for support levels is what I'm trying to get at. Again, I'm just going to scroll through here. I mean, I put so much into this video, but yeah, there's some some gaps that need to be filled on the S&P, which haven't been filled, which is like down here. And I've got alerts on there. So yeah, Bitcoin could go down to 88K or, 78K if the S&P drops hard down here, because then it would be filling in the gap. So there are things to look out for. However, I'm going to stay bullish until like the support zone has been broken. Like until this has been broken and flipped, and the tether dominance has been broken and flipped, I'm just going to remain bullish until I see otherwise, ultimately. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm going to be longing, because in a bull market, unless there is a back test, like we go all the way down and then we come back and we back test something here, I wouldn't be taking out short unless that was an occurrence. And so really in a bull market, all I'm really looking for are capitulation events where I can buy more, because I'm in quite a few alts already. I'm just kind of trying to finish off my portfolio with either ones that I've got ruined, like Popcat, unfortunately, got ruined, Peanut got ruined, Nero got ruined, Moo obviously got ruined, and a few others. I can move actually Ponky up here now that I'm in. I'm trying to basically establish all the ones that I feel are good runners or winners. Even just like standard like alts like Render, Ondo, Fetch, etc. Cass, as we know, that can just run really well. So yeah, I'm looking for the winners of the cycle and trying to get in them so that if they 10x on leverage and making bank off them. And yeah, that's basically it, guys. That's where I'm at with the levels, and I'll catch you in the next one.